Welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'll be showing you what I did. I drafted my pencil skirt, or as some people do say, classic skirts or office skirts. So today it's actually a pencil skirt. So I just show you what I did, because when I was doing it, I really thought about you guys. So what I did was that I draw my baseline, waistline, and the and another baseline here. And this baseline has enabled me to actually draft my pattern. So what I did was that I measure my full length from here. Actually, I measure my full length here, down here, and I label it full length. And from this full length, I add 2 inches for my sewing allowance, folding rather, because I'm going to fold it, then I will have my full length. The measurement that I used, let me just show you again. Measurement that I used was that the full length actually is 27 inches plus 2.5 inches here. This 2.5 inches. Okay, and I measure my waist measurement here, because it's going to be high waist, and my waist measurement, it is 40 divided by 4. I have 10 inches plus 1 inch for the darts, and also 1 inch for sewing allowance. Total was 12 inches. So I draw my 12 inches here, and then I measure the distance between my waist to my hip, and that gave me 9 inches. It's actually 9 inches. Okay, and so from that 9 inches, I draw my connect the line and name it as my hip line. And so from the waistline, I draw my full length and the hemline. Okay, and I measure here to here 5.5 inches, and 1 inch is from the dart. So I measure from here half an inch, from here half an inch, and then I draw it the main line all the way to my hip line. And here is about maybe 4.5. Let me just show you exactly what I did. All right. Okay, so this is this is actually 5 inches. Then there I made I connected down all the way to the 9 inches. And then half an inch here, half an inch here, then you connect it together. Okay, so the next step that I did was to add my sewing allowance at the top of the waist. In order for me to able to sew my skirt to my waistband, because I'm going to have a waistband. And so after that I label it. I'll call this unfold, the front part. This is front and all the label part. So what I did was that I connect from here at 2 inches inwards, then I mark it there, and I connect it to the hip line. And so because I want to have a pencil skirt, but the reason I did not cut off my pattern is because I would love to make another skirt with this pattern without pencil skirt. So this serves for me as a master pattern. So whenever I want to use another pattern, I'll just take it out, draw it. So when you want to make your pattern, you just take this pattern out. You can just use this as a template, draw your skirt, and then you measure inward 2 inches, and then you connect it. Then you have your pencil skirt. But if not, you can just leave it like that, and then you draft your skirt. So with the same pattern we make the front, we use it to as a template to make our back skirt. But as you can notice, the back will be bigger because here we add extra. Here is our extra allowance for the zip. I did 2 inches. That is 2 inches. But you can do whatever you want. You can do 1 inch, you can do 1.5 inch. Doesn't really matter. So when you use this as a template, actually you have already add your sewing allowance at the top as well. Remember, we have 1/2 inch here at the top in order for us to attach our band and the skirt itself. Okay, so then I label it. This is the waist. As you can see, this is that. If you like, you can put it dart at the, if you like, you add your dart at the back. If you like, you won't do that. But if you don't want to add darts in your back, then you should not measure the 1 inch for your darts. You just measure your waist measurement like that. So I label it again. This is the full length, the hemline, this is the zipper line, and of course you label it back. This back is 2, I cut it 2, and this is the front, I cut it 1, I cut it on fold. So actually that was the pattern drafting that I did. But now I'm going to show you what I did with the pattern that we just drafted. So what we did was that I cut this off camera, and this is the back, this is the front. As a matter of fact, this is, you can see this like this is the back pattern. This is the back pattern, as you can see. You can see. So this is the back pattern. It fits exactly how I want it. And so the back pattern is 2, and then the front pattern is just 1. Okay, let me show you the front pattern I cut. This is the front pattern that we cut, you see. Okay, this is the front pattern that we cut. So the next step we're going to do now is to, because you see the darts, I pin the darts, here. This is the front, and also I went ahead and overlock it. I went ahead and overlock the skirt. So, and I did I overlock everything. So, but what I didn't overlock is just the top. I didn't overlock the top because I'm going to add my waistband. And when I add my waistband, and all these raw edges will be gone. Okay. All right. So you can go ahead and cut your fabric with the pattern that we just created. Then after you finish cutting your fabric, then you can pin your skirt together. You can pin the darts. As you can see what I did, you can pin the darts. You can pin the darts. Okay. So you pin your darts. Okay. All right. So, and I did my waistband. So one thing is that when you are making a straight skirt, your band has to be straight as well. Your band has to be straight. You don't have to have any curvy band because you are making a pencil skirt. So that is it. Just have to be straight. You don't have to bother about anything. So this is what I just rectangular fabric like that, And so this is what I use. As you can see, I use this fusible. At the back is the glue, and I just glue it to my fabric. And this is going to be the middle of it, as you can see here. But when you fold it, it's very easy. Just fold like this. Just fold. So this is a very easy tool to use actually when you're making a waistband. So you can see it's like this. So when you are here, I'm going to sew with the skirt. That is why I did not overlock these edges, because I'm going to sew it like this, and I'll fold it like this. And of course I can leave these edges like this, or I fold it like this. So you can see, then it will be nice and neat. So actually you don't even need to overlock the other edge of your waistband, but I just did anyway. So you do it like this. So it is very easy to get this. As I said, you can get this in your local fabric store. So you go ahead and cut your fabric and pin it together, and your darts, just pin your darts together, and then we will move forward to the sewing tutorial. Okay, so thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. Today's tutorial will be pinning and sewing our pencil skirts. Now this is the panel. This is both the back side, and this is the front side. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed the darts. As you can see, I sewed the darts and I did it as well. So the next step we're going to do now in this tutorial is to sew our zip. I really wanted to start first with the back panel. The reason is, when I start with the back panel, I face my zipper. It will be easy for me because the panel is not too big, so it will be easy for me to work on my zip. And so after that, then I will join both the back and the front together. Okay, so now let me just tell you what I'm going to do. I measure the zipper I'm going to use. Is that when you measure, it's about it is 9 inches. So I measure here as well where I'm going to put the zip. So because of this area, so I'm going to cut it off. So I just measure from here to here 8 inches. So there I'm going to put my zip. So now I will just pin it. Remember, this line, it is the 2 inches that we measure for our zip. So I'll make sure I use that zip. I use that zip allowance to sew my zip. So now here I put a mark here because here I'm going to have a split. I will leave it open. I'll leave it open to have my split. So because it's a pencil skirt and it's a bit over the knee, so I will leave a little split at the back so that I can able to walk around. Okay, so now here, this was the remember, this was the hemming line. So when I hem it like this, then I'll have my true length. So that is it. So from here I will stop. So I will sew here to here with the widest stitch, my sewing machine. Then from here I will sew all the way here. Jump back stitch from here, sew all the way here. Okay, so that's what I will do now. I'll go to my sewing machine and sew that, and then I will show you the next step. Okay. All right. I have sewed my panel, and I give it a good press. As you can see, it's nice and flat. All right. So the next step we're going to do now is to attach our zipper. So this is a system I normally use sometimes. You know, if you are watching my video now, you can see that I have different ways of fixing zipper. So this is another method that you fix your zipper. You know, as a beginner, this will be a nice method for you. So what I'm going to do now is to we sewed here actually with the widest stitch, you can see. So when I finish sewing, I will lose it out. I'll just lose the stitches and it will be easy for me. So now with the right side of your zipper, you just face it down. So what I'm going to do now is I will just put it in the middle. Put it in the middle like this. Okay, and I'll just use my pin to hold it. Use my pin to hold it. That's all the way. The way and the way. Okay. So alright. Okay. So I'm just using the pin to hold it so that the zip will not move when I'm sewing. Okay. So then the next, you can see that is like this. So the next step we're going to do now is to actually, I will use my needle and try to back stitch it. Okay. So I have a needle and thread here. I'm using this thread so that you can see what I'm doing actually. So, okay, let me just put the thread and needle in. Okay, alright, so we have it in again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to watch carefully what I'm doing. I'm going to start from here. I'll back stitch it all the way down and come back so that when I'm sewing, it'll be easy for me. Okay, so I will show you later why I am actually doing this. Okay. Okay. So just use your thread and needle to sew it. So when you finish sewing that, then you will remove your pins. Okay. Hope you are seeing what I'm doing. Okay. Alright. So as a beginner, this is a very good method. Just take time, be patient, just do. You can just do it right here, you know, very close to the zipper teeth. Very close to the zipper teeth. When you're doing that, you can remove your, maybe move this pin this way. Okay. Okay. Alright. So be patient. Take your time to actually do it. When you are doing this, actually use very sharp needle and make sure that the zip is in the middle, because that is very important. Okay, up in the middle. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so one side is done now. So the next, I will just cross it over and do the other one. So be careful with this iron stitch. I just do it from here, just like that. That's what I'm going to do. Then I will go to the other side, this side, and also I will sew it. Okay. But you don't have to do this, but as a beginner, it's actually good for you. Just do it. When you are sewing, then you don't have pins running around, you know, so it'll be nice and free for you. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay. All right. So is it? I'm gonna remove this pin. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are done now. I'm going to remove it. So that's it. So the purpose I did this backstage is just to hold it like this, and you can see now it is right here, it is visible. So the next step we're going to do now is to sew your zip here. I'm going to start from here. I will sew it. I'm not going to sew it at the back. I will just sew it here in the front, so that I will, with this mark, with this stitch that I did now, I'll just sew it like this, and like this, and like this. So you will have your zipper. So this is where my zipper line will be. So now, I don't worry about this zipper head, because I put it all the way here, so you will not have a problem when you are sewing. That is the idea. Because sometimes you are sewing zipper, you put it here, it's difficult to sew with the sewing machine. So if you just put it up like this, it will be easy. You will not have problem with the zipper head. And don't worry about this. This will cut off later when we are attaching the waistband. So now let me go to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew my zipper. You go ahead as well and sew your zipper. Use your zipper teeth to sew it, or you don't use your normal sewing foot to sew your zipper. So I will show you the next step after I sew my zipper. So you go ahead and sew yours, okay? All right, so I have attached my zipper. You can see that it is easy when you don't use, when you stitch it first and then you turn it around, you sew right here. Okay, so now I'm going to lose my stitch. First of all, I'll remove this stitch that I make. Okay, so it'll be easy now to just come out because it was not sewn, you know. I did not attach. Anyway, when you are sewing with your sewing machine, you have to be careful so that you do not sew that thread to your fabric. Okay, that way it will be very difficult to remove it. Okay. So after we remove these stitches now, so I'm going to cut it open. Okay. Alright. Okay, here we go. Alright. So now we're going to cut it open so that we see what we did. For the fact that I make it very, the stitches are very wide, you can see, okay, you can see that it's just easy to lose. See? But that is it, just easy to lose out. You can just use this to remove the stitches. You see? You see? You be careful so that you do not cut your fabric. Okay. Right. So when you are doing this, you have to be very careful. Take your time to do it. Alright. So, okay, this is the end of it. Okay, you can see now. Let me open my zipper. Remove all the unwanted thread. Okay. So you can see. Let's open it. You can see. There you go. You have your zipper, your skirt. So it's just like this. Very simple. What you just do, you just to, you know, when you put your zipper head just top, and then you just sew it straight and straight and straight, and then it's easy. You know, you don't have to start battling with your zipper foot or things like that. Okay. So now that we have done that, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to join our panel together. So let me just pin it so that you see what I'm going to do. So don't forget the inches that you're going to use. We use an inch to for our seam allowance. So you make sure you do that your an inch. Okay. So what you can also do, remember the method that we just used for zipper. You can also do that to use for your skirt. And so when you, instead of when you pin it, after pinning together like this, what I'm doing is like this, and then you will take your thread, and needle. Just do what I did just now with the zipper. You take your thread and needle, you sew it here all the way down, and then you sew here as well all the way down after you pin it. And then after done that, then you will take it to the sewing machine, and then you will sew it. The why you could do that is because after you pin in, and then you use thread to attack it, then you can try it on if it fits. You know, try it on if it fits. If it's too big, you can always adjust it. If it's too small, you can lose it out and sew it again. You know, so that is how you can do it. As a beginner, that is a very good method. I did that a lot when I start to sew. I would just use a contrasting color to attack it. Then I'll put it on. Then I see how it fits. You can always do that if you want. As a beginner, it's good. You just have to do that. That is the advice that you can do, so that you can try it on if it fits, and then you see. You can see our skirt is already taking shape. So we're just going to sew it right now. Just sew it down, and we sew it the other side. Okay. So you can see. So you go ahead and sew yours, and I'm going to my sewing machine as well to sew mine, and I will show you the next step. Okay. I'm going to attach my waistband right now. So don't worry about this. So you just take your, remember, this will attach to here. So that's just what you're going to do right now. So you open your zipper like this. First of all, you have to find out which side you will overflow. You know, so when you wear it like this, you're going to actually flip it this way. You know, when you from your right side, you now flip it to your left hand side. So, or you can do it the other way around, what you want. Depends actually what you want. So doesn't matter. So in this case now, you just do it like this. And then we start from here. Okay. We'll start from here and go down. Okay. So now I'm going to just attach it like this. Remember, the zipper is like this. You do it like this. And then you just use your pin to hold it like this. Remember, this line, that's what we're going to sew, because that is already allowance of half an inch or 1.5 centimeter. So just sew your line, you just sew it, around like that. The reason why we actually do it like this, because later when I finish sewing, I'm gonna press it this way, this line will press this way, and then we're going to fold it like this. Then we're going to sew it like this. So we'll sew it so good that it will be in the bridge, nobody will even see it. But if you want your sewing stitch to be seen, there is no problem about that. So we're going to sew it in the front. So that is why I'm pinning it from this side, you know, the right side to the wrong side. So let me just see, let me finish pinning it, I'll show you. Okay. You can fix your let me just finish this. I'll show you what I'm doing, and I'll show you other method as well. I might actually like to. Okay. So this is what I mean. After you finish like this, you sew it like this, and then you're going to turn the fold here in, the fold here in, and then you just sew it like this. So that's what you can do. That's what you can do. But another method that you can also do is this. Anyway, this is the first method. You just pin it like this, then you sew it like this. You sew it like this. But another method that I will show you as well, because I do not have other samples, but another method I will show you is this. So you can just decide which one is better for you, and then you do that. Okay. So another method that you could do is the right side to the right side. Okay. So you have your right side of your skirt and the right side of your pattern. Okay. Okay, then you just do it like this, as usual. And then you just pin it. You pin it, you pin it, you pin it. So they just demonstration purposes. The first step and the second step that you like to do, you can do that, okay? So it is just exactly your preference, okay? Right. Let me just do it round, and I'll show you so that you can make sure all your seam side seams are open. Oh, that's what I do. Because doesn't matter. Okay. Doesn't matter what you do because you're going to fold them in anyway. Doesn't matter the side. Okay. So this is just the second method. Make sure your work is nice and flat. When you are working with it, give them a very, very good press. Then your work will be very neat. Okay. Okay. What is seam? Press them open. Okay. Alright, so it's done. Alright, so this is what you do. Alright, so you can sew here all the way down. Okay, so when you finish sewing that, and then you're going to have something like this. Let me show you. Okay, so you're gonna have something like this. Okay, so what you do after sewing one, then you just fold it here like this, then you do here, and then it will flip up. I'm just pinning things. Okay, let me just show you very well. Okay, so and after that, after you sew it round, then you can sew here, or you sew it there like that. You're going to like this, and you go like this, okay? You go like this. You press it very well. You see, and then what you do is here, just go like this. Of course, you press it in. Okay, you press it in like this, and then you fold it like this, then you sew. Here. So when you hold it here, I'm just use pin to show you how it will look like. So when you hold it here, and then you go to the side and sew it right here. Maybe then you can sew it in the dish. You know, that you sew inside, nobody will see. So this is actually the second method that you can use to sew your waistbands, but make sure that when you are attaching here, just try to do it right to your zipper teeth so that it can remain neat like this. Okay, so let me go to the same machine and sew mine. You go yours and do yours, then I will show you the next step. Okay. Okay, so now I have finished attaching my my waistband. Actually, to be more easier when you are fixing your waistband, this is what I do. I just, when we fix the zip, it was like this. And so what I did was that I open it, I just take my waistband, then I attach it. First, I attach it from here actually. Just attach it from here, as you can see, where the zipper is when you close it. And I just attach my waistband to here. And then after that, I close it up. As you can see, I close it up and I fold it in. The same I did here. I close it up and I fold it in. As I mentioned earlier, don't worry about this zip, this area. So I'm going to just cut it off now. This extra, the excess of the zipper. I'm just going to cut it off. Okay, and that one is done. So the next thing I'm going to do now, the next step is just to iron it. So what I'm going to do now is to iron this band inside, inward. Just iron it inward, so it'll be easy for you. And this is my ironing machine. My iron. Okay. Oh, that hot very well. Yes, it's going. Okay. Go ahead. Nice working. All right. So I'm just going to iron it inward. So let's put. Okay. You can see, go have to steam it lightly. Just in and in. Right. So. Okay. So we'll do the other side as well. Okay. So everything goes in, just iron it in upwards. So, you can see everything is now iron upwards. Okay, so what we're going to do next, the next step is just to fold it like this. Fold it like this. Remember, we have this helping hand here. Just do it like this. It's easy for us. Okay, then here you just fold. Okay. All right. So let me pin it so that you can see what I mean. Okay. So this is the pinning. You just pin it like this now. So when you are doing this, you have to use a very sharp pins. Okay. To make sure the raw edges are inside. Like this. Just like that. So come up here again. So don't forget this one here. Alright. Okay. 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 So just pin it all the way around. All the way around. You see, because of this helping hand here, this folding is not that difficult. You just fold it in to cover the, make sure all the raw edges are covered. Okay. Okay. There we go. There you go. Okay. Because you press it inward and the raw edges are in, then it's easy. Okay. So that is that. Okay. All right. Okay, it's almost done. Okay, so here, when you are here, you just fold that inside as well, and then it's ready. You just sew it. Okay, make sure everything is in the edges are in. Okay, all right. It's like this. So. And the raw edges are tucked in. Okay, so you can see without you didn't sew it yet, it has shape, you see. So this is how the skirt going to be. That is going to be overlap like this. So I'm going to use a button. So I have to get a button to use, or I could use also what do you call it, iron hook. I might use that because then if you use iron hook, you will not see any button here, and here as well you won't see anything at the back. So I might do that, but let me sew the waistband first, you see. So it is nice and neat. Okay, so another I'm going to show you something because what we're going to do right now, we're going to sew our waistband, but we're going to sew it here in the front, in the side, front side. Here we're going to sew our waistband, but the way we're going to sew it, we're going to sew it in the way that you will not see the stitch. We're just going to sew it just in a dish, just here, inside here. But then when you are sewing it, I'm going to show you what you do. So the next step you will do is to use your thread and needle and sew it. Okay, let me take my thread and needle to show you what I'm going to do. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've got my needle and my thread. So let me just show you something that I use, little tools to help me quickly thread my needle. I have this little tool. I have this. So I just put it in the eye of the needle, and I will put my thread. Just put my thread on it like this. Okay, and I put my thread. It will go through this hole, then I'll just pull it out like this. Then it's very fast to thread your needle. Okay, so those are the little tools you can buy. You can go to any fabric store to buy it, or Amazon, or AliExpress, anyhow. So those little things help you to actually make your work a little bit more fast as well. For some time before you put thread in your needle, it can take a while. Okay, so that is that one. So what I will actually do now is I will just sew like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I will just attach it. I'll just attack break like this. So I will just attack it all the way down. So this method is actually very good for those beginners. This is good. Okay, so it takes time when you are doing it, but it is very good. So you just do it like this, and then just tack it all the way down. So it's a little bit difficult to do, but because the waistband is a bit thick, but then you should get a bit sharp needle as well. So as you can see what I'm doing, so as a beginner, this is what you should, this is really good for you, this is a good method for you. And then you just don't choke your hand, you just do it like that, okay? Okay, alright. So you can see what I've done so far, you see? So when you sew it like this, you attack it like this, then you remove your needle, your pins, sorry, you remove your pins, and then you are good to go. And because the reason we do this, because we're going to sew this way. So when you do it like this, you see, when you do it like this, then you can see the line, and also it will hold the waistband to the skirt already. So what you have to do is just to pull it like this and sew right here. Put it like this and sew right here. So when you are sewing, you will go inside, and then it will as well stitch the waistband itself. Okay, okay, this is what you should place like this. You're going to sew in here. All right, so you go to your sewing machine right now, you do yours. First attack with your thread, just tack it quickly like this, and then you go and sew yours. It may take a little time, but if you do it like this, it will be easy for you. You will not be worried about the pins underneath, you know, because we're going to sew right here. All right, so you do that right now. I'm going to the same machine and did mine. All right. So this is what I just did. As I told you guys, I was going to make my waistband. You can see I sew just in the dish here, so you don't see it actually, but at the back you will actually see what I did. You see, this is the stitch I did, and so this is a very nice way to finish your waistbands. Okay, so the next step that I went ahead and did was to fix my my buttonholes. The way I fix my buttonhole is that my buttonhole, you can cut the excess thread out. My buttonhole is actually I made it with I don't know the type of machine that you have. My machine can actually make the buttonhole automatically. You just fix your button on the machine, it will make the hole for you, and afterwards you can even use the same machine to make to fix your button on your skull. But I'm not going to do that. I'll just use my hand to fix the button. So I went ahead and used the machine to do it. And so the way I normally open my button, I'll just, this is the stitch ripper. You can just I just put it on it like this, and I'll just cut it. That will be careful because it's very sharp. Okay, be careful so that I do not stitch to the end, not too far. Okay, so I'll do this side as well. Be very careful, please. All right, so this is it. So my buttonhole is ready now. So I'm going to fix my button here where I just marked, because I'm going to have it like this. So I have a button that I'm going to fix. Let me show you. Well, these are the tools I want to let you see on my sewing machine. I'll just put the button here and I'll fix this in my machine. This is buttonhole foot. then I'll just make my stitches. So this we actually measure it how many centimeter I need or inches, but it's just like 2 inches. I mean 2 centimeter. So I'll remove it. So actually this is how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it like this, see? And it goes perfectly. See, it goes perfectly. So your machine, I don't know what type of machine you have, so you can check your instruction on how to fix your buttonholes. Okay, so I'm going to sew mine now. I will just put my hair, because I already marked it. I'll just put my hair and put the buttonhole here. Okay, and then after that, when you finish sewing your buttonhole, the next thing you do, you just bring your hem. Going to hem it, and remember our hem is 2 inches. So what you do is just sew here. You sew it here, and then so that it will enable you to fold it, and I will do the same thing here. Put it like this, and after that you just fold it like this, and then you can use a hand stitch to do it, so that if you don't want someone to see your stitches, you can just use your hand to attack it, or you just use your sewing machine to do it. Okay, so I'm going to do that, but before I do that, let me just show you my buttonhole. Let's show you my buttonhole I'm going to do. Actually, I wanted to use seam braid. Okay. Okay, you know what you do? You go ahead and do your button. You can fix the button. You can fix your button, and while I fix mine, and then I will do the hemming line, just hem it round, and then we're done. Okay, so I'll go and do mine, so you go ahead and do yours. Okay, all right, so I finished my my skirt. As you can see, I fixed the buttonholes. I did my button, fixed my button, and then I had to use black and red thread so that I can see. Okay, so this right there, and a flip. So you can do, I put a little bit bigger button, because that's what I want to do. Okay, so you can put a smaller button if you want. You can then you have a smaller buttonholes. I went ahead and fold the down part. You can see it is very pencil. So you can see the smaller here. Yeah, so this is how I did it. So you just go ahead and fold your hemline. Make it simple as a beginner. Just make it things simple. Don't make it too complicated. Make sure when you are folding, the hemline is the same, because it will not be nice when one side is longer than the other side. Okay, so and after sewing it, I give it a very good press. You can see everything is done. So this is like this, and I hope you enjoy this this lesson. So please try and practice what you have learned today. Make yours. Practice make perfect. Just do what you can, and then yeah, and enjoy sewing on your way. Sewing, when you take your sewing journey and it's getting difficult, please do not stop. You just continue to do what you can, and at the end you will achieve what you actually are looking for. Okay, now thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. You can share my video, and I wish you all a very, very good day. Okay then, bye.